on the Tesla tracker. So, are we going to break resistance today? It looks like it pre-market. We have a good opportunity for the SPY. Oh, did tracker run away?
No, I heard you sounded like you dropped out for a second there. I'm right here.
Oh, did I? Oh, it's my problem now? Oh,
I don't
no.
know.
We switched problems.
Just between the two of us.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor real quick. Pull up the daily Ichimoku cloud on your chart. I'm just curious about something happened with Tesla overnight, and I wonder if it happened here. The Ichimoku baseline last night closed the gap for Tesla. So in other words, the gap doesn't need, it's got Ichimoku support over it now. So I wonder if the SPY and
Okay.
these have the same thing.
Yeah, we can check out Tesla after that, but
I was wondering if the SPY happened as well.
No, the baseline's way down here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe on a shorter
Well, yeah,
time
let's
frame,
just,
like 8 hours. But go ahead, do the thing.
yeah, let's just get started. So I see a lot of requests coming in here right now. So fantastic. Let's talk about the SPY. We can see full pre-market it's 592. So it looks like there's a very good probability of closing above resistance here for the week, and this is going to be, or knock on wood, it's going to be a weekly candle close above, right? The last time we closed above this was back in February before the meltdown. So reclaiming this would be a very, very positive thing, very bullish thing. So 585.38, that's what I'm watching for SPY. Nothing else really matters. Just stay above that for today. And QQQ, it's right in the middle of a range here. So I think what we could do is maybe use some linear scale fibs just to see if anything is different. And no, the linear scale is basically giving us a better support of 504. So we can see that, right? Because log scale, it's at 497. But if we use linear scale fibs, we can see that maybe 504 is best to close above, and it looks like it's going to. So with that, it's going to be a bullish candle close, weekly candle close for QQQ as well, staying above 497 and staying above this 504. That's great. And IWM, we can see that there is a great possibility today to close above this major hurdle to resistance zone. The 208, 208.36 is the baseline. The 208.74 is the 618 fib. So right now, pre-market is above it. So that's all I really care about, closing above that. But it would be fantastic if it actually went inside the weekly cloud up here as well, just to gain some more momentum. So we'll keep our eye on that. And it looks like a great development. So 208.74. Let's watch that zone for the rest of the day. And we can look at Bitcoin. And I'm watching day over day. I have the daily chart here on Bitcoin at my 103.611, and it did actually close the day back above it. So it's been about, you can see it's like just close above, close below, above, below, above, below. So we'll see if this trend can continue of staying above, and maybe for the weekly candle, if we can actually get 2 weekly candles in a row above this 103.611, that'll be the first time ever. And this is looking mighty bullish for a continuation, as long as we can maintain this. So this is the only level. I am watching the linear scale as well right here, the 102.076, because that is quite nicely as well. But I would prefer this log scale fib to get broken, because it really has been a challenge for the whole time. Even back in January and December of last year, it's been in a big resistance zone. So 103.611 for Bitcoin.
Oh man, that is fantastic. Tracker. All right, I got some charts to share with y'all. Let's see. So, whoops. The SPY, I just posted this publicly. So, just looking at these retracement levels from the previous all-time high of 613.23, we went back down to 481.80 for the April 7th plunge, and look what we've been doing since then. We've been going back up. Why do I have 2 levels? Sorry about the, I don't know what, that's something else. Anyway, I'm looking at, oh, that's what it is right there. Sorry, let me just get rid of this. There we go, perfect. All right, so we got back above, it was a race to the 786, and now we're gonna test the 886. So it's between the 786 retrace and 886 retrace from that all-time high to the most recent super low. Yeah, and so that's 598.25 is at 886. So if it tests it, back test the 786, and then we can move higher. If you've been following along with me for this Darvis box that I do around price the last couple days here, where price has been hanging around the SPY, just battling over the 786. We broke out of the Darvis box yesterday. Right here, here's 12 p.m. At 3 p.m., it wicked back into the box a little bit, but then went right back above. And this is definitely a breakout of that Darvis box. And right now we are about halfway from the 786 to 886. So look for my next resistance target for the SPY is 598.25. And after that, like I said, it should backtest the 786. It could potentially backtest to 573.66, which is my fib extensions on the right here. I like how my fib extensions have some confluence, a lot of confluence actually, with the retraces on the left. And using the Mattsby patented method of following the retrace higher to the 127.2, that means that after it breaks above the 886 and it makes a new all-time high, I'm looking at 648.98 for the 127.2. Maybe it's possible that it goes to the 141, which would be about 668 SPY. And this could all happen definitely this year, maybe even by the summer. And going over to the VIX, I've been tracking this a lot. Here's where we were last Monday open and the last Thursday open. You can see we've left fear behind into greed. And by this week, we gapped down into deep into greed. Here's the Monday open this week, the Tuesday open, and then the last couple of days it trended back up, and then just followed this is a 1-hour Ichimoku cloud, followed right back down again, and now we're even lower. At 7 a.m. when I posted this, we were here, and now it's 8:37, and we're here. So it's just dropping faster and faster. Watch my take profits line down here if the VIX hits 1380. Not to say we'll get there in a straight line. It'll still backtrack a little bit on the way, but the general tendency is for it to continue lower and lower, pushing stocks higher and higher. And even just while stocks are below the greed line, they can keep moving higher. Even if the VIX starts to go this way, the general tendency is that it's like an accelerometer. The velocity of stocks is still higher while we're below this greed line of 22 VIX. And Bitcoin, anything to share here? Just the Darvis box. My Darvis box, I guess I need to extend it to this one right here. I keep looking back farther. But yeah, it's battling Matt's line. Here's the 11.4%. Actually, this is the 886. I've got it upside down. So we already got over the 786, and now we're up over the 886. And as soon as it gets over the 100%, then it could go to the 127.2 up here at 109.60, and possibly extend to the 141, which is 110.811. And then we could see some resistance, and it has to test back down, and we'll see how we do after that. But looking really good for Bitcoin as well. And then Tesla, you vixen, where are you? TSLA. So here, let me show you on the 8-hour chart what I posted this morning when I was talking about with Matt. Remember this perilous weekend price gap? And we're all afraid, it's going to have to come back and close this gap. Well, look what's happened. On the 8-hour Ichimoku, here's a conversion line in blue, and we've just stayed above it the entire time. And the baseline's down here. And look, the baseline has closed that gap for us. If price ran down, wicked down right now really hard, the baseline would catch it, probably right here at 310.25. And I don't think it's got to break the conversion line first. So I think Tesla wants to get over this 50% retrace halfway between the all-time high and that 214 low. This is the exact halfway point. And look, we've been avoiding testing it. I don't know. Maybe the week closes just under it. I would love to see Tesla close this week today just over it. Maybe it closes right on it. They're trying to keep us guessing, but that's where Tesla is now, over 351.40, and I see it going at least to 385.65, maybe even this larger 786. Oh well, yeah, the 786 going up 429.84. So, and then overall, the rest of the story is it just gets bigger and bigger, as I showed in this Tuesday's. If you didn't catch Tuesday's Triumvirate show, I redrew my Tesla chart to make the wave one go up to 567 Wave 3, 862, and then the wave 5 tops out at 1339. It's almost, I want to make it 1337 because that's elite. All right, Matt, back to you. I talked enough here.
Yeah, so just want to show my Tesla chart here. We can take a look at my linear scale fibs. That's all I really want to show because we're at resistance, guys. We're at the beginning stages of a big resistance zone from the 347.58 linear scale fib and the baseline right here, 351.39. And then don't get me started on everything else above, which is like the GAN level and then the log base fib at 353. So yeah, this is a huge resistance zone here. So we'll see if it can actually break above this week. I mean, if it can just power through this week and just start to close above everything, then we can talk about further continuation. But if we close below both of these, at least the 347.58 and the 351, then we're probably going to be stuck in a range still. But if we can close back above it this week, then maybe good things to come. But be cautious here. I don't think it's great to be greedy at resistance. Always have some caution there because it's not guaranteed to break free the first time. And this would be the first close above since basically February. So it would be a big deal, but not sure if it's really ready, but we'll find out. Just got to wait for some kind of confirmation with that. And before I do any of the other requests, I just wanted to talk about Coinbase too. Because Coinbase is trying to break its resistance, right? And this is a possibility of breaking above an important zone. And the cloud, the baseline, the 786 on log scale. So if it closes above everything, then this is great. And I know people got scared yesterday with the multiple headlines of the SEC and the hack and all this other stuff. But I think that's just a narrative to suppress price, maybe to not break out right away. Maybe somebody wants cheaper shares at a lower price, right? Because they want more time to accumulate. But seems like a well-timed release of multiple things right in a resistance zone. So we can see that they do that all the time. Good news happens at support. Bad news happens at resistance. Happens like clockwork. So let's watch this whole zone here, but I want to see at least maybe 246.17 for today. And that would be fantastic for continuation. So that's what I'm looking at for Coinbase.
Woohoo! I love Coinbase and Connell. I'll go straight to ACHR. My Connell hasn't changed today if you watch the show there. ACHR, it's right at the 618. So I basically from the 162 low to the 1247 high and then back here to this 541 as support. The 786 is what I think it's targeting at 1370. Now, the safe thing to do right here is take a little bit off the table, take some profits, maybe take as much as half off, but you don't have to, maybe 25% or just whatever you've made from here to here. It's above the 618, so I think it'll continue higher to 1370. But if it doesn't, then the risk is that it drops from the 618 down to the 236 again at 797. But what I'd like to see it do is run all the way up to the 764 at 1370. Then 955 for the 382 is your support after that. Wave 3 takes it on to 2040. Wave 4 to 1626. And wave 5 tops out at 3125. So there you go. ACHR, it powered right up from the 382, bam, right to the 618 this week. And I can do SERV too if you want. SERV is great, right? Because SERV Robotics, it's underneath. Oh, wait. No. I just need to change this. Oh, I haven't looked at this in a while. I was looking for it to do all this, but we got a lower low. So now I get to delete this and this. And let's see, you know what, Matt, go ahead and do something else. I'm going to fix my SERV chart.
Okay. What else we got here on the dock? Yeah, I see SMCI. Actually, somebody requested EL yesterday, and I didn't get to it, so I'm going to do that one because we haven't done this one ever, I think, on the show Estee Lauder. So I want to just flip to my chart, and I wanted to show you the GAN that I have on this one, which price is really interesting what it did, right? Do you see that little wick down there? And I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole thing just for Estee Lauder. So we know Michael Burry is actually buying it, but just look at this GAN since the inception here back in 1996. It went up to the blue level and the arc up here got rejected. That was the came back and flipped it all to resistance, and it melted down, and then it went back to symmetrical support exactly with the giant wick last month. So that might have been the bottom, right? That could be the bottom there, $49. So could it come back down there? Yeah, it definitely could, but I don't if it's really going to be too explosive here. I know people think that it's going to be good since Michael Burry is a genius apparently, but I think what we're just going to do is revert back to some kind of mean here, and in the meantime, that could be the monthly conversion line, which lines up exactly with the angle here, maybe 75.91. But on the high time frame, this is still a bearish chart, right? Because it hasn't reversed any of the downtrend at all. It just touched symmetrical support. That's it. So if you want to take a chance, maybe closer to that $50 range. But I think the closer it gets to 75, 76 bucks, the more resistance it's going to run into. So I'm not sure if it's really ready to break back above it. But if it ever starts to close monthly candles back above this blue angle, then I think it does have the ability to go higher after that. But it might take some time, maybe a few months or longer, to get in that direction. But could be a bottom. But the true opportunity is when it nailed that symmetrical support down below, which was a major zone back in 2011, 2012 in that zone. So this is a interesting play here. I don't know. It's like trying to catch a falling knife, really, that finally did reach an important level. So it's up to you guys, but I don't think it's really that bullish just yet. Still has room to go higher, sure, but I'm not sure if $75, $76 is going to get broken anytime soon.
All right. I've got that SERV chart, Serve Robotics, fixed up here now. I went from this all-time low to this all-time high, and then the highest lower support it had here at 448. And look where the fibs are. We've already beaten the 11.4% fib boss. You can see it fought that mini boss right around back in here, got caught by my 8-hour moving average 75, and now we're going higher. It's just trying to get over the 236. As soon as it does, it'll head straight for the 382 at 1301. Again, it's possible it could extend higher to the 618 or the 764, but we'll just watch and see what it does at the 382 first. If it stops at the 382, it drops to the 236 at 975, and then goes on to the 1336 after that. Percentage-wise is my favorite part to tell you that from here to the 382, you could make about 33% higher. From here to the olive wave 3 is about 228% higher. And from where price is right now to the 2236 is 461% higher. So there's that's the minimum possibility outcome. And of course, the greater ones, if it goes to the 764, 382, then to the 2382 is just a little bit higher. It ends up at 493% higher. So robotics. Let's see what else we got here. Or RDW, Redwire. Redwire, it looks like I've got the current chart for this. So from its, wait, why is this? Oh, because I missed the after hours action. Yeah, come here, there. All right, there we go. From its all-time low to all-time high to the April 7th bottom here at 661, it has beaten the 2236 boss and is heading for the 382. So this is a great position to enter in here because the 2236 will be your support no matter what. So 1629 is next from our prices now to that is 22% higher. If it extends to the 618, that's 68% higher. If it goes all the way to the 764, then that is 96% higher. And then regardless from where price is now, the top of wave 3 is going to be either 185 to about 214% higher. To the 2236 is, I've got the numbers down here, 378% higher, or 406% higher if it goes to the 2382. So there you go, Redwire in a great position to buy in, and your stop would be probably below my moving average 75 on this 8-hour chart, about $10.06. Redwire, and you can see it's super bullish on the MCDX. How about you, Matt? You want to do one, and I'll come back with the next. Or I can keep going. Here's Ford. Oh, Ford.
Actually, I have a Ford chart too, but you can go do yours first.
No, you do it first because there's no Ford chart actually. I don't know what's going on here. I have no Ford chart.
What's
I must have done it on a different spreadsheet. I must have done it on a different
Just-
template once upon a time.
All right. Yeah, let me just switch to my Ford chart here. So here's Ford. I do have a GAN here. So we can see that price from the beginning back in 1981 from the bottom here. It went straight up to the orange, back down to the blue level, got rejected. A lot of volatility during the financial crisis, but it always gravitated back towards the orange level. All right. And now we are basically in a range. I think we are probably going to go back down there maybe again before any kind of downtrend reversal, right? Still in a downtrend, and we could see that clearly from the top here. It's making lower highs and lower lows all the time. And more recently, last month was a lower low. But we can put on the Ichimoku just to see if it is above the monthly conversion line, and it is. So maybe it's not going to go to that orange eagle after all, but we can just look at that 998 as a reference, I think, for Ford. If it can keep staying above that conversion line, then it's got an opportunity to go back to $12, right? The baseline up here, 1193. But then we got the monthly cloud way up here. So it's still technically kind of in a bear market. It's still looking like there is a good possibility to maybe go up higher first to the $12, and then over the months ahead, maybe finally touch this symmetrical support down here, down in the sevens, 780, 790 to $8, depending on time. But yeah, this chart, multi-year downtrend still, right? Whenever you see lower lows and lower highs, this is usually the case. But to have a short recovery, if you just want to do it for a trade, but I think anything around $12 might be really a challenge to get back above as well. We can even put on the moving averages just to see how much resistance is above right here. And there's a bunch. All the moving averages are right here. The 100 month, the 200 month, the 50 month, the baseline, everything. So really doubtful it's going to break that anytime soon. So Ford, super boring stock, just dead money for a while, I think. Dead
It's like Disney.
money. Yeah.
It's like Disney stock. I've got a different take on the Ford stock. I mean, slightly same, but different. And then we'll have to do a lightning round to get through all these requests. So Ford, I'm going to give it a pass on all the history from 1968 to 2008, basically. In the 2008, meltdown, I'm going to call this the new bottom and call this the 1-2. Oh no way. Yeah. I'm going to call this the 1-2. I'm going to call this an AB 1-2. Based, crap. Now I kind of want to do this. Let's take it. No, let's keep it. Let's keep it. So it's fighting the 11.4% fib boss. Well, let's see. What if I'm sorry. I have to see this. What if it does this again? I like this better. I do like this better. So it's fighting the 11.4% fib boss. If it can get over 1094, then it will go to at least 1361 to try to fail the 236. Should go to at least past that to the 382 at 1681. So 1681 is my next minimum target. You can see the Ichimoku clouds on the weekly. Or I'm sorry. Well, this is monthly. On the monthly, even kind of agrees with me. Could go right to here. 382, 236. Let's just stop right there. That's enough to go on for a while. Ford's gonna be a slow mover, and let's get to some other stocks. Let's see. What have we not done? I did the VIX. Oh, Rocket Lab. Well, we did. Did Rocket Lab move yesterday? I think it did some big thing yesterday. Yes. So here, Rocket Lab has gone over the 236. It hit the 382 yesterday, but look, it's still going. So I'd say once Rocket Lab gets above 2660, so you could put a stop right at 2536 or just below the 2536. So you don't get grabbed on our test back, but that should be support if it's going to continue higher. It could go to the 618 up here at 3226. It would still test back down to 2110. And if it goes all the way up to 3652, then my test back for support would move over to the 382 at 2536. But just for now, one crime at a time, look for possibly 3226 next. If it doesn't drop back below 2536. There's Rocket Lab. And then just jump in anytime you have one, Matt, and I'll just keep going otherwise.
Well, somebody wants to look at the VIX. I think I think your chart is better than mine, so I like it.
Yeah, this is the VIX. I talked about it already. Basically,
Oh, you did. Oh, you're talking
I
about.
kind of
Yeah. Okay.
I break it down into just purely based on past history and like experiencing the market and being in it. Absolute panic is when the VIX is up here at 60. Then you have extreme fear and fear. We've left fear and extreme fear behind. We dropped below greed, and now we're plunging halfway. We've gone past the halfway point to where I call the take profits line. After that, it's extreme greed. Stay in positions here at your own risk. Sometimes this is where the Michael Burberrys of the world make it big, but the rest of us kind of get out around here. But yeah, the VIX is just churning on down. What else we got
All right.
here?
But yeah,
Could do.
you can
I
do
could show my SMCI. I
SMCI.
think you did yours yesterday. My SMCI. I'm basically saying it's just making the 236 support, so it can go on to the 382. So my next target for SMCI at minimum is 63.87, though it could continue on higher. What does this chart say? Oh, this is a retrace chart. Yeah, don't worry about that. That's just another idea I had. But at minimum, look for 63.87 as your next resistance for SMCI. And AMD, my AMD chart is the same. We are now over the 23.6 and headed to the 382 at minimum, $142. I've been saying that for several weeks now. So look for 142 as resistance. Then if that is resistance, it sends it back down to a 116.76 for support. But if it can get over the 382, then it probably goes higher to the 618 at 182.75. And then just, I don't know, if you hadn't gotten in yet, from our prices now in pre-market, that's almost 21% higher to the 382. If it keeps going, that's 55% higher to the 618. That's AMD. CNPG.
I got some crypto
Go ahead.
that I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So let me just jump onto that. I saw XRP, Corium, and Boba. So I'll do those three real quickly. And XRP, it's back above all the indicators here on the Ichimoku and above the 886 fib here, which is a great thing. But right now, I see a battle, and I see the battle with the bull market support band here at the top of it, right here, and it's trying to close the week above that. First time since it broke down back in March. So we're going to watch that, right? 242.101. That is the 20-week moving average. So if it can actually close above it, it might be good to go. But if it actually just keeps this long wick, then we could start to retest levels, maybe even the 225 again, right? The 886. So let's watch that weekly candle close on Sunday for XRP. All you got to do is watch the 20-week moving average just to see if it can finally break above it. And we'll look at Corium here. Corium, I think, which chart did I look at last time? Maybe Gate.io. No. Maybe Bitstamp is fine. Yeah, Bitstamp is fine. So with Corium, it's still below the 20-week moving average here. We can take that off and just look that it's actually just battling the weekly conversion line. So we can just watch that for Corium to try to maintain as a support. 0.14252. Close above it, then it possibly can go higher. But if not, it might just retest some lows back in the 12-cent zone again. But it's trying to get more bullish, trying to do a trend reversal. It was succeeding for a couple of weeks, but let's see if this trend can continue and maintain the conversion line as a support, 14.252. And we'll look at Boba, Coinbase. So Boba, same situation with the conversion line here. It's trying to break above for the first time since basically December of 2024. So could be a good development. But when we look at this chart, it's still kind of in a downtrend, right? It's not too much of a trend reversal yet, but it could start if it does close above this 10-cent zone, 0.1062, right? Because we haven't closed above that conversion line in a long time, 5 months. So if it can do that, then I think it has potential to go back to the 18 or 20-cent zone. But still kind of in a bear market itself, not really any kind of a high time frame trend reversal yet, but it is trying. So watch that 10-cent zone.
All right. Thanks, Matt. I've got FRF Soul Strategies here. And just real quick, I want to show you how it fooled me. I thought that this was my major 1, 2, and then we get a sub 1, sub 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it kind of confused me when it broke higher than the 3. And now I see the whole time this was my 1, 2, and I just got it wrong. I got everything kind of wrong. I didn't see this top. Anyway, that's the past now. The present is from the all-time low to the all-time high back to the January. Well, I'm sorry. This is for crypto is a March 13th bottom. And while it retested lower, that is the bottom right there in after hours wick. And you can see right here, it went to the 382, 236, got up to just over the 50%, but then tested back down to the 382. So see, this one didn't go to the 618. Test back to the 382. It could still pause at the 618 or the 764, but my past experience tells me that after a 382, 236 like this, it's probably going to just go straight to the 1236 now. So 606 is my next target for Soul Strategies. Where price is right now, it's 125% higher to the 123.6 fib. If I'm wrong and it just stops the 618 next, 27% higher before it could hit major resistance and send it back down to the 236. So let's watch out for that next. I'll put an alert right here, just under that 618. All right, see why that thing. Let's see.
And Kat is here too. Well, good morning, Cantonese
Oh,
Kat.
hi, Kat.
We see
Good
you.
morning, Kat.
See you in the chats. I got some bit deer and some bit farms. If you are free to let go of
Yeah,
the
no, go ahead.
reins.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Bit deer, we can see 1475 getting rejected this week so far. That is your resistance, your support 1219 down below. It is now stuck in a new range, but it recovered nicely from the bottom here. It just went through the cloud, went to the 618, hit all this previous support down here perfectly, like kind of like a little bit of a double bottom in that zone. And now we're working on getting more and more bullish. So I think we might be stuck in this range for a little bit longer. Maybe next week can break out above. So if it can start to close weekly candles above 1475, then I think 16, 17 bucks is going to be the next resistance. But right now we're just range bound in a new range, but it is looking healthier now that it's back above all the moving averages here and also this 886. So as long as that stays that way, I think it's going to continue higher. Bit farms, we can see BITF. This is looking like it wants to continue its journey higher as well, right? We can see that it broke out above the conversion line. It broke out above the 45-degree angle. So that's what I care about the most, just staying above this zone here. So any kind of back test in that zone into the 90s is fine, right? I think we're looking at a potential of a nice V-bottom trend reversal going on. Whether it needs to go back and retest a little bit lower, the dollar range, 90s, whatever, that's fine. Because I think in the future, it's going to break this 120, it's going to break this 130s, and it's going to get back to the orange arc up here, which is in the 150s, depending on time. And after that, it's going to probably try to battle the resistance above. So I can see a nice bullish engulfing candle like this coming soon for bit farms. Not sure how soon, but I think it's going to depend on some IWM also breaking out into some higher levels as well before these miners get a little bit more exciting. But none of them look bad anymore. They all kind of seem like they reversed their downtrend. So I would not be afraid of adding or dabbling into the miners.
Woohoo! Let's see. I did Silicon Motion Technology Corporation, SIMO. I'd never done this chart. I just did it while you were talking. So I'm just going to ignore the previous history here from this pandemic low to the all-time high to the April 7th low. It looks like it's racing to, it just kind of whipped right through the 11.4, right to the 236, hovered under there, broke higher. Now it's going to go for the 382 at 64.69. So maybe it at least gets to that and then test back down to the 236 at 54.19. So that leaves you just about another 6% higher to find out. If it gets over, though, then maybe it could go to the 618. Next, that's 81.67 or 33.5% higher, or even the 764, which would be super bullish. That was the MCDX Plus looking not super great on the MCDX Plus, but on the weekly chart. Let's see, $92.17 to 786 is 50% higher where prices now. So look for, it did have this breakdown here, so maybe it does do 382.236. Anyway, in the longer term, and this is a slower moving stock compared to some other tech stuff, but to the 123 to the wave 3 top from where price is right now, about 106% higher. And we'll just stop right there and go to the next thing. But here, if you take a screenshot, there's the whole 5 waves. What have we not? I'm going to do my CLSK and then Golden Parachute wanted your RDW, Matt.
Yeah, I think that'll be it for us after that. So
oh no,
then we'll run away.
Then we'll run
away and see you Monday.
That's true. All right, here's my CLSK chart. I'm just taking it from this 2023 low. Anyway, the way I see it, it just beat the 11.4% mini boss and it's heading on to the 382. So the 236 will be resistance at 1165, but it should break through that and get on. So it'll break through 24% higher and should move on to at least the 382 or 59% higher for a price of 1501 is my CLSK next moves, and we'll see if it gets over the 382 or not. All right, and then whatever you want to do, Matt. RDW.
Yeah, I'll do the RDW since they wanted to see, but there's really not much. All I'm looking at is this 1304 for RDW, 886, right? You don't need anything else. Just close above that, it can go higher, right? Because it hasn't had a weekly candle close above that since it broke down. So that would kind of complete that V bottom recovery, and then closing above that would be key. It is above it pre-market, so let's see. If not, it still could be just range bound in between the $10, 1084, and the 1304. So it's looking more and more bullish, but we'll find out today if it actually wants to close the week back above this 1304. But with that, guys, we will see you on Monday. Let's watch those levels today, get a bullish close, and then we can have a bullish weekend and a bullish next week and a bullish year. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Don't short this market in general. It's just trending up, and I think they're going to try to burn the shorts this week. They might try to do a fake out on the Monday open to get the shorts interested again, and then burn it again next week. So let's look for that.
Don't be like Michael. Don't be like Michael Burry, or as Tracker said, Michael Burberry. Yes. Yeah, don't be like Michael Burberry out there. Yeah, don't do that.
So I got it wrong. Okay. Have a great weekend. Good luck out there today.
All right. Yeah, you too. Bye.
See you later, Matt. Bye.